Hey, everybody, it's Pastor Vern with your daily update for October 14th. It's a Wednesday. Busy week lined up here in ministry, a lot of board meetings, a lot of paperwork, a lot of things to get ready for different processes. Plus, we're starting to look ahead at Advent. Advent is going to start in just a few weeks, the end of November. And so we're looking forward to that time. Another great thing about Advent is it's the beginning of a new Christian year. And I think if you're like most of us, you wouldn't mind leaving the current year behind. It's just a memory. For many of us, it's been a difficult year. So there's been good things too. Don't get me wrong. There's always the good mixed in, but it's been a year where we've had to work pretty hard to even be in a place where we were comfortable with much of anything. So we are down to the fourth commandment this week, or today rather, and that is to keep the Sabbath holy. Now, here's another one that really gets a lot of, I don't know, a lot of misinformation brought out about it. The Sabbath, of course, we remember in the Jewish tradition that the Sabbath began on sundown on Friday night and ended at sundown on Saturday. That was their holy day of Sabbath. That means God had given them instructions way back in the early days of his relationship with the Hebrew people that they were to keep that day holy. That day was about being in relationship with God and about rest. We remember that God rested on the seventh day of creation, and he set that in our minds that we do need at least one day of rest from the weariness of work and the worries of the week in order to concentrate on our relaxing our bodies and rebuilding our minds and our emotions through our relationship with God. Traditionally, the Sabbath is a time to worship. And so a lot of us still talk about being on Sabbath on Sunday, a day where we can worship and a day where we can do other things that lighten us. We called it day of rest. I don't know so much if I agree 100% with the day of rest as it is in the classical form of that the Hebrew tradition is that you really don't do any work at all, uh, which went to a little bit of extremes as the Pharisees and the Sadducees tried to gain control of their people in a very dramatic manner. But a lot of it has to do with we leave that work worry of the week behind. If and maybe our rest is doing something after worship that takes our minds off our work and off the worries of the world. Uh, you know, it hasn't been so long ago within my lifetime that there was what they call blue laws, which said stores were not open on Sunday. And I think that a lot of that had to do not only with the rest for the people who worked in the stores, but also the fact that if business continues on Sunday, we never really take a rest from it. And so that was the purpose of that. That's all changed now. A lot of people do a lot of business on Sunday because it's their day off from other responsibilities, and that's just the way our culture has divided it. But it doesn't mean that your Sabbath has on Sunday. It's not a set day of the week. Now remember, it is set aside for two things. It's set aside for worship and for rest from your daily grind, I guess you would say. So here's what and so here's what you need to know is that the Sabbath is about worship and your restoration of your relationship with God. The Sabbath to think about God have Him as the center of that day. It is also a time to take your mind off those things that separate us from God in our normal work week because we get thinking about it too much and not enough about God. Um, One of the things that often pastors are called hypocritical because we preach about the Sabbath, but then we work on Sundays. Right now, we're not besides worship, we're also doing confirmation, and there's always other things, or sometimes other things come up on Sunday that pastor needs to take care of, and that's just part of the process. Because, quite frankly, Sunday is not a Sabbath for your pastors. That's a day of work for them, a day that are they're charged with trying to help you meet that worship goal, and also to do a lot of other things. Pastors need to Sabbath on other days. We need to take some time later in the week or in a different part of the week in order to fulfill the Sabbath that God has laid out in this commandment. So, whether you're one of my folks in one of my churches, or if you're watching this and you have pastors, a different pastor, remember that your pastor needs a Sabbath someday other than Sunday too. And so when they need a little time to recoup, a little time to engage in something other than the ministerial work, you need to honor that also. Or I think it's within the realm of honoring God to honor that. All right. Well, you all take good care of yourselves, watch out for others, and be safe.